To be most effective in assisting another individual, the caseworker must A. Have a wide knowledge of the individual's cultural background. B. Be aware of personal feelings regarding the client. C. Be free from prejudice of any kind. Social control theory can best be described as A. Social constraints lead to a lack of following the rule of law. B. Social constraints, when weakened as it relates to antisocial behavior, may cause delinquent behavior. C. Social constraints are absent in the United States, except for antisocial behavior. Oftentimes, probation parole branches will offer specialized services to produce a better service for specialized clients. Which of the below terms is the best example of one of these services? A. Specialized agencies. B. Specialized units. C. Specialized services outside the agency's jurisdiction. An indictment is best defined as A. Formal, usually written document alleging or charging one with an offense. B. Formal act of reprimand by the court system. C. Written document brought to the attention of the defense to help clear a parolee or probationer from the terms and/or conditions of their case. Which answer choice below best describes the probable number one reason that could be used to either validate or negate various programs relating to probations and parole? A. By using a ratio of cost per inmate. If the costs drop, the program is successful. B. Examining or measuring the recidivist rate. What level of education must you have to be a probation officer? A. Associate degree in chemistry. B. High school diploma. C. Master's degree in counseling. D. Bachelor's degree in a human services field. Individuals on probation have been convicted of A. Only felonies. B. Misdemeanors only. C. Misdemeanors and low-level felonies. D. Only those crimes punishable by imprisonment. What is included in a case plan? A. Short-term goals for the probation client. B. List of community involvement. C. Risk of continued drug or alcohol usage. D. All of the answers are correct. Which of the following is the least serious offense with the lowest level of punishment attached to it in the United States? A. Infraction. B. Misdemeanor. C. Felony. D. Appeal. Which of these is an example of a violation which could be punished with an infraction? A. Murder. B. Assault. C. Failing to wear a seat belt. D. Breaking and entering. For an infraction, you have the right to A. A bench trial only. B. A bench or jury trial. C. A jury trial only. D. No trial. Which of the following is determined by the assessment of an official designated by a state or federal Department of Corrections? A. Rated capacity. B. operational capacity. C. Design capacity. Which of the following refers to the security level that houses offenders that would be serving sentences of approximately 20 years or less? A. Minimum security institution. B. Medium security institution. C. Maximum security institution. Which of the following processes should be considered when designing and building a prison? A. Movement. B. Meals. C. Movement, meals, and recreation are processes that should be considered when building and designing a prison. Many individuals used to deal with their problems, which can lead to more problems requiring counseling. A hobby. B. Entertainment. C. Alcohol. D. A talk with a friend. In motivational interviewing, who is responsible for changing the client's destructive behavior? A. The counselor is responsible. B. Responsibility is both the client's and the counselor's. C. The client is responsible for changing his or her behavior. What is the main purpose of motivational interviewing? A. The main purpose is to resolve the client's conflicting feelings. B. There is no main purpose. C. Asking open-ended questions is the main purpose. Maximum security prisons have amount of security measures in place. A. The least. B. Medium. C. A low. D. The most. Which security level has double fences and the prisoners are allowed to attend treatment programs but are housed in their cells? A. Maximum. B. Minimum. C. Medium. Security prisons allow inmates to work in work camps. A. Maximum. B. Medium. C. High. D. Minimum. Is a current issue in correctional facilities? A. Violence and abuse. B. Healthcare. C. Overcrowding. D. All of the answers are correct. Which of the following is an active prison reform group? A. Southern Center for Human Rights, SCHR. B. Cyberdyne Systems. C. The Center for Consumer Freedom, CCF. D. The Umbrella Corporation. In the American colonies, prisons were initially used. A. As a form of punishment. B. As shelters for the homeless. C. To hold people awaiting trial. D. As food storage facilities. The two types of probation are in conditions. A. Required and unrequired. B. Standard and special. C. Incarcerated and free. D. Monitored and unmonitored. A type of supervised release from jail is called A. felony. B. Incarceration. C. Conditions. D. Probation. While on probation, an offender can be required to wear an ankle monitor that tracks and A. Location and alcohol consumption. B. Sleeping and awake times. C. Driving or walking. D. Sitting or standing. Prior to what year would someone have to manually request an absolute discharge to be removed? A. 1998. B. 1994. C. 1992. D. 1996. What can an absolute discharge affect if still on a record? A. It can affect jobs and travel abroad. B. It can affect renting an apartment or buying a home. C. It can affect whether you can be accepted into college. D. It can affect the purchase of a car. Which of the following does not represent a possible condition of probation? A. The offender will attend a drug rehabilitation program. B. The offender will provide a DNA sample. C. The offender will submit to drug testing. D. The offender will spend a minimum of 5 years in jail. Which of the following best describes supervised probation? A. The offender has to routinely meet with their probation officer and the offender must also adhere to specific rules. B. The offender does not have to meet with a probation officer at all. Which of the following devices would likely be utilized in community control probation? A. Handcuffs. B. Ankle monitors. C. Supervised visitations. D. Jail time. Which of the following devices would likely be utilized in community control probation? A. Handcuffs. B. Ankle monitors. C. Supervised visitations. D. Jail time. What is a juvenile's living situation if they're undergoing residential treatment? A. Juvenile remains in their home. B. The juvenile lives in a residential treatment facility. C. A probation officer drives the juvenile from his home to therapy every day. What happens to a juvenile if they're on probation? A. The juvenile is sent to prison. B. The juvenile is sent to prison until they turn 21. C. The juvenile has to live at a treatment facility. D. The juvenile is supervised while remaining in their community. Why is community service beneficial? A. By joining a community organization, the juvenile becomes reintegrated into their community. B. By attending group therapy, the juvenile comes to understand why what they did was wrong. C. By volunteering, the juvenile pays back their debt to society. What constitutes police brutality? A. Any use of force or violence by a police officer. B. The use of force to detain an armed and dangerous suspect. C. Any time when violent police tactics are used that are unjustified in that situation. Police were often used in the 19th century to break apart what? A. Civil rights protests. B. Anarchist revolutions. C. Labor movements. D. Communist coups. Those who defend incidents of police brutality often do so by claiming that the violence is necessary in order to do what? A. Undermine the democracy. B. Maintain order and control. C. Assume innocence before guilt. D. Encourage democracy-inspired revolutions. Under what circumstances are juveniles entitled to a trial by jury? A. All circumstances. B. If state law allows. C. No circumstances. D. Only if in front of the Supreme Court of the United States. During the English common law, how were children ages 7 to 14 treated by courts? A. As adults. B. As juveniles. C. As infants. D. As property. In the 19th century, how was it determined whether or not someone was treated as an adult in the justice system? A. If they understood the wrongfulness of their actions, then they were treated as an adult. B. If they were older than 14, then they were treated as an adult. An arrest occurs when the suspect being detained reasonably believes that he or she A. Is going to be charged with a crime. B. Has committed a crime. C. Not free to leave. D. Been confronted by an officer. Excessive force is defined as A. Force that could leave the suspect seriously injured. B. More force than is necessary to make the arrest. C. Force above and beyond the amount of force used by the suspect. X is an official document that is obtained from a judge that authorizes the arrest of a suspect. X is normally an added assurance for the enforcement officer. Identify document X. A. A search warrant. B. An affidavit. C. An arrest warrant. What are the two types of reports commonly used in differential response? A. Assessment and investigation. B. Assessment and interrogation. C. Investigation and information gathering. D. Assessment and court involvement. What is the purpose of the investigation? A. Making a decision. B. Information gathering. C. Determining a sentence. D. Placing children in a different home. In order to adhere to place restrictions, where might an adult magazine be legally displayed? A. On the highest shelf with a covering. B. There is nothing that restricts the display of this material. C. On the counter, near candy. D. Anywhere a reader can reach. How do prison riots typically begin? A. With the institution of new rules in the prison. B. With an act of abuse by one of the guards. C. With unsatisfactory conditions in the prison. D. With an act of defiance and disorder. The 1966 Federal Bail Reform Act was created to provide those with less the opportunity to be free before they face trial. A. Financial resources. B. War activity. C. Risk. Which of the following is a drawback of prison privatization? A. Higher cost. B. Lack of transparency. C. Lack of rehabilitation. D. Worse performance. Must a conditionally released inmate disclose his or her status as an inmate? A. Yes, only if working with money. B. Yes, only if working with children. C. Yes, it is required. D. No, it is not required.